Screen share. Okay, so back to outsourcing. I know this is a topic a lot of us go over, especially in a group that we have called Elite Focus Group, and that's a private group that we have for the team builders on Moxie, which we would love for everyone to join. But the virtual assistant, I'm going to show you in the next slide. I use a website. This is going to sound crazy. Take a deep breath. I use a website called onlinejobs.ph, and it's actually a virtual assistant staffing company from the Philippines. I was extremely nervous and hesitant about hiring somebody that's not within the States. So I thought, ooh, that's like scary, and time zone difference and language barrier, and I don't know, that seems weird. But I love Shalene Johnson, and she highly, highly, highly recommended it. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take her seriously. I trust her as a business mentor. So I tried it out, and I have never been happier. The virtual assistant that I have is absolutely incredible. She's extremely proactive, extremely professional, and that is their culture. So I'm not saying that everyone has to do that, but from my experience, that's why I, on the next slide, had that listed out. But she helps me with my social media marketing. So for example, I will do a Periscope, and then I'll send her that recording, and she'll transcribe it. I'll make it into a blog. Then she'll put it on my blog, put it through Twitter, on Instagram, and on my Facebook page. So we spread out my content over several social media platforms, but all my responsibility is to make the content and to edit it, the blog that she writes. That's what I do. And then she does the other thing. So she works part-time for me on helping me put myself out there more. And that's just like a month into things. So it's not perfect, but that's just an example. Another thing that I'm going to hire for is to help me with my CRM. So I'm going to have somebody like and comment on my prospects' pages, not necessarily do the business building relationship because I want to do that, but I want somebody to help me on the customer service side. So help me with my likes and comments and my Facebook affinity, or create a customer newsletter every single month, or set up automated emails where I would email my customers 2 weeks after they order to remind them of their HD order. Things like that can take my personal customer service up a notch. Those are the kind of things that I'm trying to implement. So you can outsource and delegate any way that you want. I mean, I've delegated graphics before. I've delegated making PowerPoint slides before. I've delegated, what have I delegated? Like page research. I've delegated, running reports or doing my stars tracker. I've tried a lot of different things, and so it's up to you. It's up to you. If that's kind of the direction that you know you're going to go one day, is to outsource and to hire help, then you can do that. This slide is like 8 font, like 8 size, but these are some examples of legitimate, trustworthy sites where you can find help. It could be somebody who's an actual virtual assistant, or it can be like odd job, pay somebody $5 to make a logo for you. So Fiverr down here is a site where you pay $5 for somebody to do a specific task. It's not like an ongoing relationship. It might just be, hey, here's some numbers. Can you make this into a graphic for a recognition? Or hey, here are 5 coaches that I've added this month. Can you make a welcome graphic for each of them? Just like little things that you just need to put somewhere, you can. So don't feel like if you're hiring help or if you're outsourcing that it's going to cost you a fortune. It doesn't have to. But here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 examples of trustworthy sites that you can look at if you one day are looking to outsource. Let me mute everybody. Okay, so the 4th tip is that I want us to focus on the right kind of goal setting. I want us to goal set according to what's controllable and not necessarily uncontrollable. Some of you might disagree because you have that vision to be a certain star diamond, or that you want to have a certain amount of volume on your weak leg. That's awesome. Go for it. I have set many, many goals like that, and I've achieved a lot of goals and I've missed a lot of goals. But for me, this year, I'm actually keeping it very simple, and I'm only going to be setting 2 goals for myself. Isn't that crazy? 2 goals. I'm going to set a personal success club goal, and I'm going to set a personal recruitment goal. These are going to be monthly. So I haven't decided yet, and I'm still praying through it and still talking to my husband about like what is brave, what is not. I don't want to set goals based on fear, but I don't want to set goals that are unattainable that will stress me out. So I want to hit Success Club 15 and add 7 coaches a month. Like those 2 might be my goals, or might be 20 and 10. I don't know yet. But for my 2016 roadmap, I am going to be setting controllable goals. And then I want to commit to the work. I want you to commit to the work. I want us to get organized with our contacts and follow-ups. If you work from paper and pen, if you work through, Google Docs, if you have an Excel sheet, if you have a notebook, whatever it is, that's fine. You do you, but I want you to get organized with how you're contacting people, how you're following up with people, and how you're still serving them the best that you can. Like, we made a commitment, and you're responsible for helping your coaches and customers. And also, using a tracker for accountability is key. You don't necessarily have to use the BAT, the business activity tracker. You don't have to use like a checklist for your business behaviors unless you need to, unless it's helpful for you. So what I started to do, and everyone has different personalities. I totally get that. A lot of people are paper and pen. They have a checklist. They keep up with that checklist. They keep up with, that notebook, and they write it down, they brain dump, and they go through it. That's awesome. I have a bad habit of losing that notebook. I have a bad habit of making a to-do list with on 14 different pads of paper, and then it's all over my desk and it's chaotic. And then when Leland gets in there, I lose stuff, and I'm thinking, there was something else that I didn't write down. So I just get a little crazy. So I actually downloaded an app. Some of you might have heard of it, Asana, Asana, Asana.com. And I started using it as my project management tool. And it's cool because not only can I use it, but I can also delegate tasks to my assistant. So my assistant and I actually use Asana.com together, and I can assign her tasks through that. But I can also assign myself tasks. So for example, Nick's mom the other day told me that she needed to cancel her account. So I knew that my little brain couldn't keep up with that. So I put it in Asana, put a deadline to it, and just let it be. And when I open up my phone and look at my task for the day, it's going to have a deadline and a task. So I can say, what are my tasks for today? And it could be things like, I'm not initially saying the 3 vital behaviors. I don't track those because that's just a part of my everyday life anyways. But additional tasks like preparing for this call, So use a tracker if you need to. I highly encourage it. I want you to stay accountable, and I want you to see that you're doing the business building behaviors. My 5th tip is that your 2016, if you really want to treat this like a business, if you want this to be the best year yet, set your eyes on the leadership ladder. That's it. Go to your coach online office, go to training, go to leadership ladder. Focus on that. Live and breathe the leadership ladder. Figure out what you need to do to get a business starter, to team builder, to team leader, to organizational leader, to executive leader. This is how you're going to succeed. This is. Because think about this income. Do you want to be making $100 a month? Do you want to be making $250 a month? Do you want to be making $1,000 a month? So on and so forth. Those numbers are going to fluctuate, but these are basic. These are minimums. You can't be a team leader unless you're making $1,000 or more a month. So how incredible will that be? That you can be there this year, that you can be making $500 a week, and that will put you in the category of a team leader if you're hitting Success Club every month, having diamond or above, helping 4 of your personally sponsored coaches get points on the board, not necessarily all of them hitting Success Club, but having duplication in your downline, and having 5,000 team volume points on your weak leg. So the team leader to me is much thicker and more sustainable than just having somebody tell me, I want to be a diamond coach. That's great, and being a diamond is a part of team leader. So I always encourage people, set rank goals. That's totally cool. As long as at the end of the day, you're building in a line and according to the leadership ladder, because you can be a diamond and still be really broke as a joke, or really have a very, very weak team. You can be a diamond because you signed up 12 of your family members. But when we're talking about helping 4 of them have Success Club points on the board, that means that you're helping at least 4 people in your downline do business building behaviors, that you're helping them help more people. So my 5th tip on making sure that you're having professional business behaviors is to set your goals, to set your eyes, to set your benchmarks according to the leadership ladder. And don't stress out about one category over the other. Don't stress out about if you're a diamond and you have 8 people hitting successful points, or if you have 5,000 TV, but you're only an emerald, try to align all of these things. Know where you're going, know where you're headed, have another level of a benchmark for you to achieve. because just because you're emerald and just because you're diamond does not mean that you're necessarily building your business. You know, like it doesn't really mean that you have a stable team. It means that you have room in each category to fulfill. Right now, I am an organizational leader. No, I'm not. Right now, I'm a team leader. Okay. I'm a team leader, and I've met every single category except the personally sponsored team leaders. So here it's cool because as an organizational leader, I'll be rewarded this, leadership ladder level once I achieve, like once I help 2 of my personal sponsors hit a team leader. So it's like I'm more successful when I'm able to help other people make more money, right? Like that's fulfilling to me. In summary, ladies and gentlemen, professional business behaviors. I want us to have work hours. I want us to have a workspace. I want us to have a business budget. I want us to set a monthly success club goal. I want us to set a monthly recruitment goal. And I want us to understand our leadership as a diamond or above is serious. And I mentioned to you guys here that even if you're following this leadership ladder, once you have coaches on your team, you have an additional level of responsibility, and I don't want anyone to be afraid of it. I don't want anyone to run from it, and I don't want anyone to be in denial of it. Because what you need to do as a leader is simply lead by example. Simply lead by example, control the controllable, and enjoy the ride. We can have so much fun in this business if we put our energy and time into building our business, into doing the work personally, before we freak out and try to fix everything else. The sky truly is the limit with where this is going to take us in 2016. I don't want any of us to lead with our emotions, because I told you before that being a human being is going to be a roller coaster. And then on top of that, being an entrepreneur is going to offer an additional level of emotions. But don't lead with that. Lead with your goals. Lead with your vision. Lead with your actions. Keep it simple. Don't reinvent the wheel. There's training, there's resources, there's so many amazing coaches that you can bounce ideas off of. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own business. I want to reach through this computer and I want to hug every single one of you, and I want to sit with you for hours, and I want to laugh and giggle and drink wine and talk about Beachbody and how we can take over the world. But we are human, and I have responsibility as a mom, as a wife. I'm sitting here in my parents' bedroom after staying up all night working, trying to encourage you guys. So although I want to answer every single question as quickly as possible, I want to eliminate every single frustration that you've ever had, whether it be shipping or frustration or a coach quitting or whatever. I want to hold you, and I want to hug you. I want to say, it's okay. You can get through this. But sometimes I can't be there because I'm one person. So you have to step up to the plate. You have to be a big girl, put your big girl panties on and say, I am in charge of my life. I am in charge of my business. And I know that putting the right time and the right energy into Beachbody can help me achieve my goals. So therefore, we can be a big, ginormous Beachbody family and all take personal responsibility for our own business, right? And I want you to realize that that's what you can do for your team too. You're not responsible for every single one of your coaches. You're not. It's going to be their own responsibility to hit Success Club or not. I want everyone to do the work and to achieve their goals and to have results. But I can't hold on to that. You can't hold on to that. You can simply lead with example, be consistent, keep it simple, and point people to the right direction, to the right resources, because that's what we're all doing here. We all have the same exact resources, the same exact chance, the same exact opportunity, and we all just need to go after it and enjoy each other and learn from each other and have fun, okay? So that, guys, is how you can set up some professional business building activities, and you can realize that 2016 can be the game changer. Like, this can be a huge catalyst for you and your family to hit some spectacular goals, and setting up these professional behaviors, setting up your bank account, setting up your business budget, setting up your workspace. It's going to help you treat this like a business, and you're going to be much more confident when you're talking about recruiting people. Okay? So I am sharing these slides with you. Yes, I am sharing these slides with you. Absolutely. And I did record it. I did want to offer you special TLC because you showed up and you hit Success Club for November and December, but I'm not going to be Scrooge or a Grinch, and I am going to compile these 2 recordings together and I am going to share them with our team. But it won't be right away because I have to do it within my business hours. But you guys got it first. So you guys can step up, be a leader, and tell your team some of these tips already. So they could be like, ooh, that's great. Do that. I don't care. Tell them it came from you. I'm just kidding. But I want to help you guys, and I love you guys, and I love this team, and I don't want to be sappy and gushy, but I totally am. So are there any questions that you guys have that I can answer fairly quickly? I'll give it like 5 or 10 more minutes, because then that will be an hour that we're on this call. No questions? You feel free to unmute yourself if you have questions, or if you want me to clarify something about what I said.
What is your favorite outsourcing site? I know you had all of those, but what's the one that you have found that I know I've heard a lot of good things about Fiverr, I think.
Yes, I've tried Fiverr, and they've created a couple of graphics for me. I also think Fiverr is cool. One time I even hired somebody to give me feedback on my Facebook page. And it's like I don't have to make up the task. Like I basically just kind of scrolled, and there was like people offering certain projects, and I was like, that sounds good. I'll buy that. And now that's kind of silly. But one person said, I'll give you professional marketing feedback on your Facebook page as an objective customer. I thought, I need to know that. So I paid $5, and she gave me great feedback, like ideas of how I can post every single day with certain themes. So there's a lot of different things that you can get with Fiverr. Right now, I actually am using that online jobs.ph site, which is a virtual assistant through the Philippines, because I was hiring a part-time virtual assistant, somebody who can kind of be an extension of me and not just specific projects. I've also used Elance, which is now called Odesk. They got bought out.
Okay.
So any of those sites, truly, it depends on what task you want them to do.
Okay, cool.
Anybody else? Was this helpful?
Yes, very.
Okay. It was helpful for me as I was planning it. I feel like
It made me feel better about taxes, because I haven't done that yet. So that was making me feel a little anxious, but it did make me feel better. So that was super helpful.
Good. Okay, awesome. Well, hey, I just like to look at you because you're so fun and pretty and smiley, and I get good energy. That sounds totally hippie, but I do. So if there are no other questions, then we can say goodbye. And again, I want to say thank you guys so much for being a part of my journey, being a part of this team, being a part of moving in the right direction. Because since you're hitting Success Club, and that's what I base how I assess if somebody's taking this seriously, and because you guys are, thank you, because you guys are going to be the leaders of our team. Like, you guys hold the influence and hold the leadership and example of all 1,000 Moxies. So I really appreciate that. Okay, good. I'm glad you got great tips. You guys are awesome. Okay, I'm going to share the recording, and I'm going to share the slides so you guys can even look at those hyperlinks, okay? Mwah. Happy New Year! Okay, bye.